everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this very simple and easy mesh bikini top. The mesh is really micro, it's almost a non-see-through top, and as you can see it's a mesh stitch, but the gaps are not as visible as the normal mesh pattern that you know of the double crochet. Now for this tutorial you'll need to know how to chain, how to do a single crochet, how to do a half double crochet, and that's all basically, and you'll be able to get this beautiful piece. Another thing is you'll need several colors of your choice. I intend to turn this into a dress, so I can't wait to transform it, but for now we're going to focus on the bikini top. This can be matched with our previous shell stitch maxi skirt that we just did in our previous video, so make sure after this video you go check it out. And then it can also be matched with any piece that has these colors that we decide to use. For example, the lemon peel stitch crochet skirt, we already have a tutorial for that as well. I'll be leaving all the links in the description box below. And yeah, let's get started. The fact that I started this project with a dark color, I am going to switch it up a little bit just for the sake of teaching how to make the stitch with a more visible color. So instead of the black color, I'll be starting off with the yellow color so that you can see the stitches clearly and so that you can follow along without any difficulty. So let's get started. For the materials, you will need yarn. Any scrap yarn can work. This is a beautiful project for scrap yarn. So if you have any scrap yarn, please pick it up and make use of it in this project. So you'll also need a 3.5mm crochet hook, as you can see here. And then you'll need one stitch marker. This is just a by the way, you can do without it. And then a darning needle and a pair of scissors. And that's basically it. So you'll see me using 2 strands of yarn. This is because my yarn is quite thin, and so I am using 2 strands of yarn in order to achieve a good thickness. If you happen to have a DK weight yarn or a yarn that recommends a 3.5mm crochet hook, please don't double your strand, just use a single strand. So we're going to start off with our first color. For me, I started with a chain of 15, but I'll be recommending a number of chains to start with for the different sizes on the screen. So you start off with a slip knot and make a chain that suits your size. So I have my 15 chains here. Now we're going to go along our starting chain with a single crochet stitch. This pattern is explained in the US terms. So you're going to go into the second chain from the hook, which is this one. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So you're going to go into the next chain with a single crochet, and you're going to single crochet all the way along our starting chain until you get to the end. All right, so we are placing our last single crochet into the very last chain, and this is what you're going to have. I have a total of 14 single crochets, and at this point we shall have different stitches according to the size that you're making for. So we're going on to row 1 of the mesh pattern. I'll consider that row 1 of the mesh pattern. I'll consider the rows starting with this row that I'm doing. I'm not going to count this as a row because it will get a little bit confusing as we go along. So what we are doing right now is the very first color, which is this one, that very first color. So row 1, you're going to make a chain of 3 and turn your work. You're going to skip over the next stitch. So the chain of 3 here is attached to the very first stitch here. So we are going to skip this one and go into the next stitch. So yarn over, skip the next stitch, and half double crochet into the next. Pull through all. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So you're going to repeat that. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. So you're going to continue to do this until you get towards the end of the row. So look what we have. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are also counting this as 7. So we have a total of 7 half double crochets, because the chain of 3 at the beginning of the row counts as a half double crochet, chain 1. So we have a total of 7 half double crochets, and then you're going to make a chain of 1, skip the next stitch, and on top here, remember, I'm explaining for the people who started with a chain of 15, but if you didn't start with a chain of 15, definitely you're going to have a different number of stitches along this side. So chain 1, and on top here, you're going to go in there with a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet into the same space, chain 1, and half double crochet into the same space. And now we're going to go onto the opposite side. You're going to make a chain of 1, skip 1 stitch, and half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, half double crochet into the next. And we're going to go all the way across until the end of the row. So we are coming to the end of the row. Chain 1, half double crochet into the last stitch. So you should make sure that you have the same exact number of stitches on both ends. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 stitches before the 3 stitches that we place at the top here. So once you're done with that, you're done with your very first color. You're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So from now on, we are going to do two rows of each and every color. So let me use my red color as my next color for demonstration. For my actual piece, I did black and then blue, but I am going to use this red color for my next color. So you're going to start with a slip knot, and then you're going to attach your yarn in the chain 1 space after the tail that you left behind at the end of the previous row. So you're going to attach your yarn there, make a chain of 3, which counts as a half double crochet, chain 1. You're going to go into the next chain 1 space with a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, half double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat this until you get to the 3 stitches on top of the backup. All right, so I've reached the 3 stitches here. You're going to make a chain of 1, and in the chain 1 space, you're going to place 1 half double crochet. Remember, 3 stitches create 2 chain 1 spaces, this one and this one. So in the very first one, you're going to just place 1 half double crochet and then chain 1, and then in the second one, that's where we're going to place our 3 half double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces, just like that. And then from here, you're going to make a chain of 1 half double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat that until the end of the row. May half double crochet in the last chain space here, and then at the end you're going to make a chain of 1 and then place a half double crochet in the second chain of the first chain 3 of the previous row, just like that. So this marks the end of row 2 of the mesh pattern. So remember, I mentioned that I'll be doing 2 rows of each and every color. So you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work. We are basically repeating the previous row. So chain 3, turn your work, go into, skip the very first chain 1 space and go into the next with a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet into the next, chain 1, half double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat this until you get to the 3 half double crochets on top of the backup. All right, so when you get here, the 3 half double crochets that are placed in the same spot, you're going to make a chain of 1, and in the first chain 1 space you're going to place a half double crochet, chain 1, and then into the next chain 1 space you're going to place your 3 half double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces, just like that. And then you're going to go all the way to the end, chaining 1 and placing 1 half double crochet in the next chain 1 space. So chain 1, place a half double crochet into the last chain 3 space, and then make a chain of 1 and place a half double crochet in the second chain of the chain 3 from the previous row, just like that. We are done with row 3 of the mesh pattern. And now you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. And now it's time for us to switch to our next color. We're going to pull through and repeat the same exact process that you did for row 2 and 3 of the mesh pattern, again and again until you get the coverage that you want. I will be recommending a number of rows to consider for the different sizes, but feel free to add or subtract a few rows depending on the fitting that you're going for. So as you can see here, we did 2 rows of each and every color in order to achieve a pattern that looks like this. So repeat rows 2 and 3 of the mesh pattern again and again. Feel free to rewind the video until you get the coverage of the backup that you want. And I'll meet you back when I have mine ready. Another thing that I want to point out is, in order to keep track of whether you have balanced your work, you should count the number of half double crochet stitches that you have before the 3 in the middle, so in between the 3 stitches. So we have here and here, these are the 3 half double crochets on top of the backup. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then the 9th, which counts as the chain of 3 counts as the 9th. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 stitches before the 3 half double crochets on top of the backup. Now when it comes to this side, on the opposite side, so we have our 3 half double crochet stitches here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So once you have the same exact number of stitches on either side of the 3 topmost half double crochet stitches, that means that your work is balancing and you can go ahead and keep growing your work up. If you happen to have a different number of stitches on either side, then it's going to not balance and it may come out a little bit weird. That means you're creating either an increase or a decrease on one side of the piece. So pay attention to that and go ahead and build your backups as desired. All right, so I ended up with a total of 11 rows for my size medium, and I'll be recommending a number of rows to do for the different sizes, but feel free to add a few rows or subtract a few rows depending on the fitting that you're going for. Now once you get the number of rows that you desire, you are going to clean up the edge using a single crochet row. And to do this, you're going to make a chain of 1 and then turn your work. You're going to use the same exact color as your very last row. So for me, that is the red, and I'm going to go into each chain 1 space with 2 single crochets. Just place 2 single crochets in each and every chain 1 space. So go all the way up until you get to this point, and I'll show you how to cross over to the opposite side. All right, so we've reached this point, and I'm still going to place 2 single crochets in each chain 1 space, but into the middle half double crochet, I'm going to go in there with 1 single crochet this time, and then 2 single crochets in each of the next chain 1 spaces. All right, so I'm placing my last 2 single crochets into the last chain space, and then at this point you're going to just make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, and this is what you're going to have. The edges are very neat, and this is the right side of the work, the side on which you work your final row. So you're going to do what you have to do to get rid of these loose ends. If it means tying the strands together, if it means let me say using a darning needle, just do what you have to do to get rid of these loose ends. For me, the fact that I have 2 ends at each point, I'm just going to go ahead and just make a knot. This may not be appealing to so many people, so if this is not something that you wish to see on your work, please go ahead and use a darning needle. I'm doing this on the wrong side of the work so that it doesn't actually show on the right side. This is going to be on the wrong side. Those little knots that I am creating are going to be on the wrong side of my work. So that's not something that's eating me up so much. So just go ahead and weave in your tails. If your yarn is a bit slippery, please consider maybe making a triple knot or even using a lighter to burn those points so that they don't unravel. All right, so here we are. And then I'm also going to get rid of this one, the very final one. The fact that I have two strands, I'm just going to go ahead and make a knot. Okay, so see what we have, guys. A very neat finish for our bra-cup. You're going to go ahead and make an identical bra-cup to this one so that you have two of them, and make sure you have the same exact number of rows for your bra-cups. So let me just go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back when I am through with that. Alright guys, I am through with removing all the loose ends, and this is how clean our bra-cups look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a very long chain. I'm going to use the red color because it's the color that I want for my straps. I'm going to start off with a slip knot and make a very long chain of about 200. All right, so I have my 200 chains. I'm going to make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn, pull through, and then I am going to thread my chain that I just made into a darning needle. And now I'm going to place my bra-cups like this. I'm going to go in and out of every 2 rows. So I'm considering this one, this one, this one, this one, the ones with big holes at the beginning. So in and out of the big hole, then into this one and out. So it's like we are skipping one row. But do what you have to do. If you feel like going into each and every row, just feel free to do that. And then you're going to pull through. This is the effect that's going to be created. Alternatively, if you don't like those very big grid lines across, you're going to go into each and every row. Actually, I think this is much better. Yeah, I think this is much better. So go into each and every row, every after the very first stitch. This is going to give you a neater finish for your top. Look what we have right now. And then you're going to get your second one and do the same exact thing. So I intend to transform this piece into a beautiful dress. So stay tuned for that. It will take me a while to make, but it will be worth the wait. So just make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on the dress version of this design. So once you weave it into the bra-cups at the base of the bra-cups, it's time for us to now create the straps that are supposed to be at the top. So you're going to attach your yarn in the topmost stitch of the bra-cup, and then single crochet into the same stitch just to secure your yarn a little bit more, and then you're going to make a chain of 100. So once you have your 100 chains, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through and cut off the excess yarn as well. And you're going to repeat this on the opposite side. Create the strap for the second brack up, and you're going to have something that looks like this. You're going to go ahead and weave in all your tails, because at this point the construction of the bikini top is finished. We're done with all the details, and you're going to just weave in all these tails. And your top is basically done. Let's see the final look. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it has been a simple one, but I hope this has brought more clarity to maybe a beginner or someone who has always wanted to make a simple crochet project. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.